What about those people that do not fill your bucket, or don't you find there's some people that after you interact with them,
yes,
your bucket is depleted. Right?
Yes.
I heard this recently on a show. You deplete me,
yeah.
right? As opposed to, that famous line from Jerry Maguire,
Yes.
you complete me,
Yes.
right? So the opposite of that. Well, what do you suggest when you're encountering those kind of people?
Well, that's such a great thing to bring up, because there are people that fill your bucket and there are people that empty it. It's just a fact in life. And there are other names you call them, the energy stealers. You just have to be able to say to yourself, do I want to be around these people? And if you have a choice, then you have to have the courage to let them go. And if you don't have a choice in terms of, say, in the workplace, then this is a time where you have to look at it in terms of that you are in training. This is a whole part of having an optimistic mindset, is to say, you are in training to learn how to deal with this energy stealer. And there are people that have come into my life, both in work and in my personal life, where I didn't know how to deal with it. So I knew, looking back over the years, that I was in training to be able to either articulate what is happening, because sometimes they didn't even know they were doing this. And that was a real gift to them, to realize that they didn't want to be an energy stealer. That was just how they were. They were taught, or how they thought it was okay. And sometimes they change.
Yeah.
And sometimes if they don't change, then that's when you got to decide, you know what? My bucket is empty every time I talk to this person. And you just have to move away. You just have to say, goodbye. Thank you, but goodbye.
Yeah, and it's interesting, because I find when my bucket is full and I encounter those people, they don't seem to bother me half as much as when my bucket is empty.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this whole idea of that surplus energy as well, because if you can build that up before you have to see someone because they're part of your family, or like you just know this person's always going to be in your life somehow.
Yes.
That filling your bucket beforehand sort of gives that protection, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yes. As an example, I had a good night's sleep last night. I knew I was going to do this exciting live radio podcast today, and I just know how I am. I get energized. I'm an introvert, by the way. And that surprises a lot of people. And the basic theories of Carl Jung is that introverts energize by being by themselves in quiet times. And so I knew that I needed a surplus of energy. I wanted to be the best I could on this call. And so I didn't party last night. I had a good night's sleep.